बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। मैं बहुत शुक्रगुज़ार हूँ सारे लीड फेलोज़ का, अरशद रफ़ीक साहब, मुराद राना साहब और सिकंदर एजाज साहब, एजाज सिकंदर साहब, शुक्रिया आपका। और अपने बिलाल सैयद साहब मेरे ख्याल ऑफ हो गए हैं, वो वापस आ जाएं। ये सूरत हाल कुछ जो मेरे नॉलेज में आई है, वो ये है कि लीड पाकिस्तान 93 में इसकी बुनियाद रखी गई थी। अली तौकीर शेख और इसका एक बुनियादी जो पहला जो बोर्ड था, उनकी सारी वो काविशें थीं। और लीड इंटरनेशनल जो है वो 91 में लॉन्च हुआ था न्यूयॉर्क में, और रॉक फेलर फाउंडेशन ने इसको फंड किया था इन कनेक्शन विद यूएन डेकेड ऑफ सस्टेनेबल एनवायरनमेंट एंड सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट, उसके हवाले से। तो 10 साल की एक डेकेड की जो है रॉकफेलर फाउंडेशन की कमिटमेंट थी। इसको 13 पहले 12 थी, तो पाकिस्तान ने जब अप्रोच किया तो उस वक्त 3 कोहोर्ट्स हो चुकी हुई थी। तो चौथी कोहोर्ट जो है वो 94 में जाके फिर लॉन्च हुई। तो ये एक कोई सूरत हाल थी। और जो मैंने पीसीपी में जो बोर्ड मेंबर के हवाले से जो डेफिनेशन दी जाती है, वो ये है कि वो ऐसा बंदा जो बहुत विजनरी हो, लर्नर्ड हो, और वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को गाइड करने और मुख्तलिफ चीज़ों को जो सुपरवाइज करने की अहलियत रखता है। सुपरविजन उस तरह से कि ताकि वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की मैनेजमेंट को एक लाहे अमल दे सके और उसके ऊपर चला सके। ये पीसीपी की एक डेफिनेशन है। एक अमेरिकी इदारा है जो पूरे अमेरिका के अंदर नॉन प्रॉफिट्स के लिए गाइडलाइंस इशू करता है। उसका नाम है यूएस काउंसिल फॉर नॉन प्रॉफिट्स। तो उसमें भी जब उसमें तो खैर काफ़ी बोर्ड की बहुत तफसील के साथ जो हैं शिकें, लेकिन उसका जो मेन क्रक्स यही था कि गाइड करना, सुपरवाइज करना और चीज़ों को सपोर्ट करना और टू स्ट्रेंथन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। क्रक्स उस पूरे जो 8-10 शिकें हैं उसका ये निकलता है। कोई भी बोर्ड जब मैंने इसके बारे में पढ़ना शुरू किया तो कोई भी बोर्ड जो होता है उसका बुनियादी काम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को स्ट्रेंथन करने का होता है, उसको गाइड करने का होता है मैनेजमेंट को, और उसको सपोर्ट करने का होता है। बाज़ जगहों के ऊपर तो वो अपने फंड्स की हासिल करने के लिए भी मदद करते हैं। और शायद यही इसी फ़लसफ़े के तहत ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो है लीड पाकिस्तान ये चलती रही है। और लेकिन अब जो क्राइसिस आया वो भी ज़ाहिर है कि कुछ शक़ूक़ व शुबहात, और ये कभी भी ऐसा नहीं होता कि बोर्ड जो है वो अपने ही जो प्रीवियस बोर्ड्स की डिसीजंस जो हैं उसकी बुनियाद के ऊपर या जिसने एसेट्स इस वक्त पड़े हुए हैं लीड पाकिस्तान के पास 140 मिलियन के, उसकी बुनियाद के ऊपर यानी 100 सस्टेनेबल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चल रही है। आप 2-3 बुनियादी तौर पर जो चीज़ें बोर्ड की मीटिंग्स में और जो मिनट्स ऑफ द मीटिंग जो सामने आया, तो वी कम टू नो द बेसिक ऑब्जर्वेशंस वर लाइक 3. One, the management having huge salaries, एक. Second, they could not secure funding and projects in the last 1 and 2 years. So, and these were the only two observations they were conveyed, and the board then come to a conclusion they should fire the management having like huge salaries, and it should be associated to some university as their directorate or center or whatever. This is what I come to know, and I think Azhar Qureshi Saab has more to tell us. Azhar Qureshi Saab, what information you have, like why this crisis has emerged in Lead Pakistan? Please go ahead.
थैंक यू मुनीर साहब। देखें, जो चीज़ हुई थी लास्ट ईयर मई जून में, तो हमें पता चला कि जी मैनेजमेंट जो है वो चेंज कर दी गई है बाई फोर्स। कुछ लोगों को जो है उसको जो सीनियर मैनेजमेंट है उसको फोर्स किया गया कि आप रिजाइन करें। फिर हम हैरान थे कि भी आखिर क्या चीज़ हुई है कि इन्होंने ऐसे किया है। फिर हमने उस वक्त फौरी तौर पे एक मीटिंग कॉल की फेलोज की, और उसमें एक कोर कमेटी बनी जिसमें
Azhar Qureshi Saab, एक मिनट. We are joined by Rana Akhal. She's our fellow from Jordan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She may not be able to understand Urdu. Like, if you can communicate
So
in,
I can start in English. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So as soon as
Rana,
this crisis
can you
started,
hear us? Rana Akhal.
Let me unmute. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, fine,
we can
fine.
hear.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you.
Thank you for
Munir.
joining.
Thank you.
Okay,
Go
Rana,
ahead,
welcome.
Suresh.
I was just briefing that how and when this crisis started and what is the context, as some of the fellows were asking. So when this crisis started last year in June, so some of the fellows, about 8 fellows, held a meeting with the then chairperson, Ms. Rahat Konan, and we tried to explore that what are the reasons that the management was changed and organization is being closed or being transferred to some other organization. So we were only told 2 things, that the management was getting higher salaries, and the second reason was that there was shortage of revenue. So then we said that this is not an issue, because these days NGOs are facing several restrictions by the government these days, and almost all NGOs are suffering from the revenues. While Lead Pakistan has a reserve of 140 million, so it is not an issue. They can survive even within up to 3-4 years. So why you are trying to remove the management and trying to shift this organization to some other, or merge the organization to some other organization? And after all, what is the succession plan? What is your plan for survival and sustainability of the organization? But they did not have any answer. They could not satisfy us. And all of the 8 people who were meeting to Ms. Rahat Konan at that time, we were totally unsatisfied by her arguments. And when we asked them further questions, we raised further questions that, please tell us, after all, what is the reason? She said that she will let us know because there is other issues that we cannot share at the moment. Anyhow, what happened that after 2-3 days, she herself resigned, and uh, no answer was provided to our questions. Later on, we tried to contact to the board, and only a few meetings were held with the board, and they told us that they are doing whatever they want. In this way, we were helpless to further raise this issue. And in the meanwhile, we tried to organize our fellows, and they were all mobilized. And at the moment, now all of us very much worried that after all, when there was no any major reasons to close down the organization or shift its resources, why this dirty game is being played. And in the meantime, I contacted some of other board members and also the Nest management, and tried to share our apprehensions that why this organization is being closed. However, no solid response was received up to date. And the recent information that we have, that now they are again trying to finally close this organization or shift its resources to some other organization. In the meanwhile, we approached also the Lahore High Court Rawalpindi bench with our concerns. So ultimately, the Lahore High Court Rawalpindi bench gave the decision in favor of the petitioner, that is the fellows. And they asked Lead Pakistan because their rules and regulation are not up to the mark, and they are very much different from the Societies Registration Act with which the lead is registered. So they should remove these loopholes, convene the fellows council meeting, and form a general body of the organization, and then the organization should be properly handled. The issue is that soon after receipt of the decision of the Lahore High Court, the Board of Governors of Lead Pakistan did not pay any heed at all. And then ultimately, after passage of 2 months, we had to again move to the Lahore High Court Rawalpindi bench, and now they have issued the notices to the board to come and explain the reason that why, after all, neither you are complying to the order of the High Court, and nor you are doing anything, while the resources are being further reduced, the reserve funds are further reduced. In the meantime, there were also news of the corruption within the board, that some of the board members were charging their remuneration from the reserve funds. And they were also charging their daily allowances to come into the lead office. So such kind of things are completely incompatible to the Societies Registration Act. They are against the law. And this is a tragedy that the Board of Governors of Lead Pakistan have not respected the orders of the court. And I don't know that why they are doing this. And this is again a major corruption case, that if you do not respect the court, would you respect the society? Are you a responsible citizen? What you are doing? So these were several questions. That's why that we have again go to the court. In the meantime, some of the fellows also suggested that we should have dialogue with the board. But how can we hold the dialogue when they are not ready even to talk to the fellows? They are not ready to allow us to come to the lead office to hold a meeting, and they are not ready to listen our concerns. And even the LUMS University that is allegedly involved in the transfer of the lead resources to the LUMS, they are not even responding us. So in this case, there was no other options than again go to the court and mobilize it for contempt of the court, and so that they could issue the orders. So now the present situation is that court has issued the notice and have called them on 21st December to explain the reasons. So this is the overall context of this crisis. So Ijaz Sahab, if you have any questions or you could not pick any point, that I can further explain.
Okay, this is the situation that we are facing at the moment. And we all have a professional and emotional attachment to Lead Pakistan. Let me say that whatever I have written like a one piece about, I wrote an op-ed about the situation in Pakistani media, and that was picked up by two different media outlets. And basically, it is the question of sustainability. Board has no right to do whatever they have done with Lead Pakistan. This is my, what you like, after going through the role of BOG and Societies Act 1860. When you go through it, you find that board has like a different mandate and scope of activities for any organization, and that is also discussed at length on different forums. So this is the situation, and I believe because no board member has given any sort of a push towards fundraising or projects to secure the projects. So like if you have not contributed to fundraising or to strengthen the organization, then how you can take such kind of decision where sustainability of an organization comes into danger, and it is on stake at the moment. Ijaz Sikandar Sahab, you were about to ask a few things or like share whatever thoughts you have. Please go ahead. Ijaz Sikandar Sahab, बेशक उर्दू में अगर आप चाहें तो उर्दू में बात कर लें. अपना माइक ऑन कीजिएगा प्लीज. अपना माइक अनम्यूट कीजिए एजाज सिकंदर साहब. एजाज सिकंदर साहब माइक अनम्यूट करें. आपका माइक जो है
ये अब हो गया.
या बिल्कुल हो गया जी. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
As far as the information and the conclusion which I have concluded from the briefing of the Azhar Qureshi, there were two major issues which board has highlighted before taking the step. One is of funding, that the management could not able to manage the funding for the organization, and the second one is high salaries. So basically, these two points could be solved easily by the board. For example, they can decrease the salaries, and it was the responsibility of the board, as you are discussing, they have to do their own role regarding securing of the funding. So basically, the both responsibilities goes to the board. If the situation is, as I conceive the situation is like this. Secondly, they are asking a organization which is developing the leaders in the at a national level and international level, and there are a lot of people and lot of resources which we have as a different like you and other people and our lead fellows. There are a lot of people who can play very positive role in managing in helping this organization, and we have the close intimacy, and certainly we have a lot of hopes with this organization, not for ourselves but for our whole country. So those people can play very positive role. The step which they have taken, certainly there is something different which they have in their mind, and they have taken such a decision. This was not a solution that they just dissolving an organization. They are just merging it into another organization. So I think personally, I don't feel that this is this is a fair step. And the other thing is, if we cannot play a role of leaders, so it means that whatever we have learned and whatever we have contributed in the past life, that we can't do anything for our organizations. So this is a big question, and I don't think as I was discussing earlier with you, that I have, for example, if you see the Sanghi Development Organization, iShare organization, there are many organizations in our country where board has did the same thing as they are doing this. For example, in the once when I was working with IUCN in Abbottabad in natural conservation projects, so when the project was completed, then board and the European Union representative offered me that you should take a step and you should make an organization, and we will hand over all the asset to you. But at that time my point was this, that okay, I will work hard, I will do whatever, but basically this organization should be the all people who are coming, who are joining us, and they have to play the role. Because I know that whenever a person is struggling hard for as a founder member for organization, they are working, they are sparing their time, resources and their energies. When they reach at a point, then board intervene. This is what I have seen in the experience which I was sharing. This was happened in 2003 or 4 in Abbottabad. So there was a secretary for us, European Union representative, and I said, okay, I come ahead and I will, manage this whole organization. But this should not be my responsibility. If I work hard, later on, I share these feelings with them. I said, okay, after 4 or 5 years, when I will work hard, then the board will come. And even in that meeting, everyone was asking me, my brother-in-law will join as monitoring officer. Like the secretary was giving me some people. We have not a single penny at that time. So they are just, coming for the fruit, but they are not working hard. So I declined. I said, okay, I can't do this in this way. So there are, some legal points, and I have been searching on it. I want to, initiate an organization, but due to this issue, I could not able to start, because if a person is starting an organization, then other board, specifically the board comes and they are doing like this. So the same thing happened with the Lead Pakistan. And I think this is very bad thing, and this is not good for our organization, for our country. Lead should be, should work as a lead organization as it was doing. And these two issues are not a big deal. And whatever we can do, I am with you. So we will do this.
Right.
I would further like to add that almost a year has passed, and instead of generating a single penny, they are just eating up the resources. And it is a big tragedy that the hard-earned resources of Lead over the last 25 years, they are being wasted in such a useless way, and they don't have any sense that what they are doing with it. And sometimes they say that they will transfer the resources to the lumps. We have already seen that two other organizations in the past were merged with the lumps, and now there is no name of those organizations. They are almost gone. Only there is lumps. So same thing is going to happen with the lead if they are going to make any attempt, any nasty attempt to merge it with the lumps. And I am continuously raising this issue with the LUM that why, after all, you are interested to do to be part of this nasty game. But the tragedy is that they are not responding at all to our concerns. And if they ever plan to merge it with the lumps, the fate would be same as of the other organizations like SPDC in Karachi happened and Mahbub al Haq Center. They even do not exist at all now, although they are on the papers. But everything is being doing by the lumps. So these are our concerns. And now the board should resign as early as possible, and they must respect the decision of the Lahore High Court. If they do not accept the decision of the Lahore High Court, it means that they are not responsible citizens. They are not responsible professionals. And in this way, they are damaging an institution which has a global and national presence in the era. So it is very much.
Okay. Thank you, Azhar Qureshi Saab. We have Dr. Ismail Saab with us. Dr. Ismail Saab, would you like to say a few words about the situation and the crisis, and how we can, restore the sustainability of the organization?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Sorry, I joined quite late.
No problem.
And I'll have to leave early too. I'm really, of course, as all other are concerned, I'm also concerned about what is happening at LEAD. But you see, if there is any problem, one has to think about the different ways that it can be tackled. So the way I think we have gone through it is by antagonizing the board. And we start antagonizing the board straight away, then what happens is that the board closes up and it shuts the door for talks. But again, there are only two ways of doing it. Either we dialogue with the board and express our feelings to them, and they come to senses and they do the right thing. And the second option is, of course, the legal part. Either the authorities, the society's authorities, they do it, or the court decides that something has to be done. But of course, if somehow things go bad and the organization is closed, of course, the society's rules say that the assets should be transferred to a similar kind of organization. So I think one of the things that we should do at this stage is to, I think, develop our own organization of the fellows organization, a parallel organization. We may not have any resources, but we don't need resources to start an organization. We should start an organization so that we can also bid and be a potential recipient of whatever happens to the original lead. Of course, if the original leads continues and the board changes and it is accepted that the fellows are the general body, of course, then everything goes well. If the fellows are declared as general body by the court, then of course the fellows can call a meeting of the lead, and then the board can be changed by the general body. That can always be done. But if the court doesn't decide in the fellows' name, then of course legally, of course, they may not be right in doing what they are doing, but legally I think they can do what they are doing. So I think the only options left with us is either to dialogue with them or to form our own organization and be one of the potential recipients of all the assets that will be transferred if this lead is closed down. Or the third option is that somehow we convince the court that it should clearly declare in very clear terms that the fellows are the general body of the organization. Now, if the fellows are the general body of the organization, then if some majority or whatever the Qanun says, the law says, we can call a meeting and then we can decide the future. Because if once we are declared as the general body, then we are the custodians of the lead. So the board can be changed anytime later on. So I think the way forward would, I probably think, is through the court now.
Yeah. You are right.
Okay.
In a way, Azhar Qureshi sir, can I have some comments from Rana Akhal?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Please go ahead.
I was actually typing.
Ah.
I read the laws and the articles. I think there is nothing. The law says that the assets will go to the government. There is nothing that says that the government is obliged to transfer the assets to a certain body or a similar body. I'm not sure of that point. If Dr. Saeed can elaborate on that. This is one point. And the second point is regarding the Board of Governance resignation. I think this is a gate, an escape maybe, or a solution, a possible solution, but we need to think what would force them to resign. We don't have any power according to the statute or to the law. So how this can happen? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Rana, like as Dr. Saeed mentioned, there are 2-3 ways. One, talks with the Board of Governors. That is the gone case, basically. The second is legal battle that we are on. And third, they said, like, if the court says, like, decides that we are fellows at the council or the general body, then we can take decision and we can remove Board of Governors and we can form another board to make our organization sustainable. Basically, the third one is, of course, like, if after having, after 1 year of watching all the incidents or like what we call like the process of negotiation and everything, I now decided to take media on board. And I wrote one piece that is picked up by 2 media outlets, and hopefully I will be writing more. I have some experience of campaigning such kind of things. Basically, the one thing that I believe, the one thing is the legal process, and it would take a much longer time. The second option that I believe is if you create pressure through media, and if you start unveiling the intentions of the Board of Governors. And as I mentioned in my message as well, every person has a past. Shahnaz Wazir Ali has a past. And same is the case with Dr. Paidwale ka kya naam hai?
Nadeem ul Haq.
Dr. Nadeem ul Haq, and all the people, they have a past. Only if the stories are dug out and portrayed in media, it would be a pressure, one. Secondly, that would be their personal reputation, their professional reputation would be on stake. Secondly, the reputation and honor of the organizations would also be on stake. For example, if you start, if you launch a campaign against Vice Chancellor Lums, it means Lums' reputation will be on stake. They are the hijackers of the organization, and they took the decisions against the sustainability of an organization. And they has already grabbed to another 2 organizations, and they have grabbed all the resources of those organizations, and for nothing. And they have, the organizations have died. So if in this way you project and of course, like the board of lumps or the chairperson or whatever, like the investors in the lumps will not tolerate their organizations are maligned in national and international media. One. Secondly, I have a plan. I would reach out to whatever possible extent, because I believe, like, I don't know if any one of you know or not. Um, a couple of years back, I did a campaign about Pak Turk schools. They were having they were not having good faculty, and on the other hand, they were preaching Fatihullah Gulen's, teachings in the schools through different, study circles and speeches and contests and whatever. And I knew one thing: who is the enemy of Fatihullah Gulen? And that was Tayyip Erdogan. And we approached the presidency of Turkey, and we mobilized through different media outlets in Turkey. Okay, there are 31 Fatihullah Gulen organizations are working in Pakistan. And then Erdogan pressurized the presidency of Turkey, influenced Pakistan to close down the entire network of Fatihullah Gulen in Pakistan. For the time being, they were arrested and deported to Turkey or to other countries. United Nations Commission for Refugees, like they also intervened, and it was a big thing. What I believe, there is always an enemy for anyone. There may be 101 enemies for me, my enemies. There may be 110 my enemies. You need one who could harm me, or like, I don't know. This is, again, it's a war now, because they have done irreparable damage to a organization that was self-sustaining. And I don't believe a board can say, like, you are getting very huge salaries, and so you should be kicked out, because they were not getting salaries themselves. Their salaries were gradually approved by the board in different years, in different tenures. A person who start an organization, bring millions of dollars to Pakistan, and won CFO, defense a project for Asia, and he has been putting all his efforts to lead Pakistan to the repute, to the national, to a repute of national think tank, and to the international organization. And one day, board says, your salary is very high, we cannot afford you, and you resign, or we will kick you out. That is not the mandate or scope of the BOG. So, keeping in view, after having witnessed all the process a year, I think we need to highlight board as the hijackers of the Lead Pakistan. This is my stance, and this is what I am going to project to protect the organization. I don't know, you guys agree with me or not, but to me, after the legal process, we have only left media to be mobilized. Any comments on my?
Definitely, Mudir. We should mobilize all the channels to resolve this issue, definitely. And regarding the ongoing situation of the board, there are few questions in my mind. First is that maybe Dr. Saeed Ismail can also throw light on it. I am very curious to know that, after all, why Madam Shahnaz Wazir Ali, who has completed her 2 tenures at the Lead board, is still interfering in Lead internal matters and has become a member of the lead colloquial committee. What interest she has? Maybe she has some financial interest. Maybe she wants to become a CEO in some other organization where these assets are being transferred, or she has some other thing in mind. We have many a times written her to please explain that why, when you have retired from lead after completing 2 terms, why you are interested. She is not answering at all. And second is that Dr. Ikrar Ahmed Khan, another board member, against whom there are embezzlement charges of 420 million rupees. Although they have not been proved, but there are embezzlement charges by the anti-corruption establishment, NAB and some other agencies. Why he has been appointed as the chairman of the lead board, and this is a very sorry state of affair.
Okay.
And you can see that where the reputation of the lead at the present is going on.
Okay.
And the
fine.
other thing is that why Dr. Nadeem ul Haq has started raising the issue on the media against the fellows. What we have done against him? Why he is doing so much nasty things over there? And he has started now. They have initiated this process, and then we are following up. We will also go into the media, and Munir is doing right thing, and this is why that we have asked him that all the fellows will support him in these efforts. And
Azhar Qureshi, if you have completed, Rana Akhil has a point to raise.
okay, sure.
Rana, please go ahead.
Thank you. I think I'm looking at the participants. Are we only 7 participating in this?
Yes, 2 or 3 already left, and at the moment we are 5.
5. Well, this is so bad that this is an important issue to be raised. I was expecting like more fellows to join. Almost all of us who were participating in the discussion at first. Anyways, I think we need to dig deep why the low participation for this important topic today. Before that, since the beginning of this issue, we noticed that the dirty games played by the Board of Governance and all their supporters amongst our dear fellows. So there might be further games that we are unaware of. Regarding the media, at first, my reaction actually was, oh my God, lead is now on newspapers and it's not good, and this is not a good reputation, and so on. You know, this, like, you're so proud of this experience as a lead fellow, and then you see the news talking about corruption in lead, and so that would be the normal reaction for all lead fellows. I think we need to be so careful in the media campaign to show the dignity of this campaign, the voices of the lead fellows, and this is a battle against corruption, and to I don't know, to show, maybe to brand it as calling for a right, for our rights. Lead fellows are so aware, they're up to the international standards, and they don't accept anymore the behaviors of the Board of Governance. Instead of mentioning the lead as an organization, because the media campaign will definitely have bad impact on lead organization. Not only the Board of Governance. I don't know, the media campaign should be so careful not to create that negative impact on lead fellows. Oh, I don't want to do anything with this organization. This is a corrupt organization. I don't know them. You know, this normal reaction of human beings, that they especially if they're honest, decent, they would go away, escape from the media campaign that would stamp or title lead as a corrupt organization. So the message is that a corrupt Board of Governance a strong lead fellows who wanted to gain the organization again. I don't know, it needs a lot, it's so tricky, you know, it's so tricky. But I think, as you said, I agree, we have no other choice. This is a sort of pressure that need to be created on the Board of Governance.
Yeah.
And apparently even the last discussions and debates and trying to, solve this matter didn't work. So apparently this is the last resort that we have. But it
Yeah.
needs to be so cautious and so carefully phrased, not to jeopardize the reputation of lead at the long run.
You are right.
Yeah.
Dr. Ismail, Dr. Saeed Ismail Saab has a point to raise. Dr. Saab, अपना mic ज़रा unmute कर लें.
जी,
जी, please
I
go ahead.
fully endorse what Rana has said, because
Yeah.
that was the main point I wanted to emphasize. Now there are three things. That first, about the Rana asked whether it's a law that the assets goes to the government or not.
Yeah.
What what I've known and what I've studied the society's law, I think there is a clause there that says that if an organization is closed, then the assets are all transferred to a similar organization. But there are two things. You see, the assets are transferred, but that new organization is not bound to continue with the previous activities. So we should really know that once it is closed, and if the assets are transferred to LUMS or any other organization, then they are not bound to continue the lead as such. All the assets become their assets, and they can use it any way that they wish. So it's a very bad thing. About the media campaign, I 100% endorse what Rana was saying, that you see that it's a double-edged sword. It can harm the lead. So the main theme while doing the media campaign should be the slogan that save the lead. You see, save the lead Pakistan. That should be the main point. That should always be highlighted in every campaign that you do, because
Right.
because unless you do that, that it would become a personal kind of vendetta or grudge against the Board of Governors, and that would need to a battle, and the result would of course be that the organization would be packed off. So we would be left with nothing again. So the campaign has to be, it has to be a positive campaign. It doesn't have to be fully 100% negative campaign. It must be a positive campaign, but highlighting the present scenario and how it is being taken up. So the campaign, you should always emphasize that lead has to be saved. Lead has to be saved, number one. And number two is the highlighting the fellows as the stakeholders. And the most it's a fraternity that has the capacity to run it, because because all the plans and everything that lead was formulated for, most of the lead fellows are working day and night for those issues. So the campaign should have the three prongs. Of course, it should highlight the fellows, their work, and their being the right waris of this organization, number one. Number two, that we want to save the lead, and we want to correct the board's management system and the Board of Governors. You see, because otherwise this would lead to just closing off of everything.
Thank you very much. Wonderful suggestions. ये तीनों बहुत अच्छी suggestions हैं कि एक तो ये है कि thank you Rana and Dr. Saeed for your positive points. I think again in the initial article what I highlighted was the contribution of LEAD as a organization for the training and leadership development of young environmentalists in different sectors. And then the second point was like how it could be survived. But I'm headlines may be like different, but I would definitely be more careful about it. and the main crux of my pieces or whatever campaign that we come up with, it should be like Save Lead Pakistan, and fellows are the main or the basic custodians of. تو یہ تو ایک بالکل ٹھیک ہے, اس کے اوپر کوئی اور کوئی بات تو نہیں. کوئی اور کچھ ایڈ کرنا چاہتے ہیں؟ میرے خیال سعید صاحب آپ نے ریز, ڈاکٹر سعید, would you like to add more?
No, I've done, Michelle.
اوکے آپ کا وہ اوکے فائن. جی اظہر قریشی صاحب, آپ کچھ کہہ رہے ہیں؟
Yeah, in fact, the issue got more serious when court ordered to the lead for compliance. They even did not reply them. They did not even respond them. If they just follow the court guidelines, we are not asking about that you make us a general body. We are not asking about that why this or that meeting was not called. We are just asking them to respond to the court with an appropriate reply so that the issue could be resolved. Because they are, by intention, they are not ready to resolve the issue. They have pre-planned strategy to either close it or to transfer the resources, and they have made this mind up. And this is why that issue is further worsened. And we have to again go to the court that they are not making the compliance with the court order.
I think there could also be someone like who can mediate between fellows and lead board. Saeed Sahab, who can be those people who can ask the Board of Governors to comply with the orders of the court and to get engaged with the fellows as well, because they are quite rigid about their own opinion and the decisions they have taken, or like whatever they have planned for Lead's future. ڈاکٹر سعید صاحب, اعجاز سکندر صاحب, آپ بھی اس کے اوپر بتائیے کہ مطلب کوئی میڈیشن ہو سکتی ہے. کین وی فائنڈ اے میڈیٹر بٹوین فیلوز اینڈ دی بورڈ who can be that?
It's really difficult to get a mediator when one party is not ready to negotiate. So the only way out, there are only two ways out of it. The one is the court decides and the court sets a mediator. That could be one way out. The second is, of course, try to find a group of persons, one or two persons who are in the good books of our our Board of Governors. Because they are the persons who they listen to, they pay respect to, and they would be ready to listen to them. So we have to find some neutral persons who have an integrity that everybody accepts, and then they are the persons to whom even the Board of Governors would be ready to listen. Because only then they would be ready to accept what is being told. Right now, see the way it has all progressed, the board has, of course, probably taken us as an enemy now. And the way we've been trying to correct it is, of course, in a way that every human has some dignity, even if he's not a right person. But if we start mudslinging and saying things to them, of course, then they also become very strict. So one of the things that has happened is that now they are not ready to negotiate with us at all.
Even
So
Dr. Saeed Sahab, please go ahead.
Let me complete. So the second thing, of course, is if we can find a couple of persons who have real standing in the community, and then we go and present our case to them. And then if they approach a few of the board members, then maybe they would be ready to listen to them, and things may get better. Otherwise, the only way would be court's arbitration.
Thank you, Dr. Saeed Sahab. Ijaz Sikandar sir, would you like to add something?
جی
Some more?
ابھی تک جو سچویشن ہے اس میں تو جو 4-5 چیزیں آئی ہیں، جس طرح میڈیا کیمپین پہ بھی آپ کی بات ہو گئی ہے، مگر ابھی جو وے فارورڈ جو ہے اس میں مجھے جو نظر آتا ہے اس ایشو میں، یقیناً بورڈ جو ہے ابھی جو سٹیپس اٹھا رہا ہے، مجھے لگتا ہے انہوں نے ایک اپنا مائنڈ بنایا ہوا ہے، وہ جو بھی مائنڈ ہے، ایک کنسنسس بھی شاید ہو، مگر میں بھی بورڈ میں کچھ ایسے لوگ ہوں، اگر ان کے ساتھ کوئی اس طرح جس طرح ڈاکٹر سعید اسماعیل صاحب نے کہا کہ کوئی ایک ایسا آدمی جو ایک ریسپیکٹیبل اور ایک جو اس طرح جو امپارشل سا ہو، اور وہ جو تھوڑی سی بہت میڈیشن کرے اور شاید وہ درمیان میں، اور وہ میں بھی اس کی وجہ سے بورڈ کے اندر بھی کچھ اوپینین ہو سکتی ہے. ایسا کبھی بھی نہیں ہوتا کہ جو ہے 100% وہ سارے ہی، بعض اوقات بعض لوگ وہ خاموشی سے وہ ساتھ دینے لگ جاتے ہیں. تو ایک تو یہ سچویشن ہو سکتی ہے. دوسری جو مجھے لگتا ہے جو اس سچویشن میں جو کورٹ کی بات میں نے سنی تھی، اور اس طرح کے ایک دو کیسز میں نے دیکھے اور جو میری اس کے سامنے ہوئے ہیں، اس میں ہم ایک بڑی اچھی پوزیشن پہ اس طرح سے آئے ہوئے ہیں. اور اگر یہ کنٹیمپٹ میں جاتے ہیں اور ساتھ ایک یہ تو لائر بتائے گا ایک اپلیکیشن موو کر دے، وہ اپلیکیشن یہ ہے کہ اس وقت جتنے بھی ریسورسز ہیں ان کو کوئی یوٹیلائز نہ کرے، فریز کر دے ٹل جو ہے فردر جو ہے اس پہ کوئی اگر باڈی بن جاتی ہے فیلوز کی، ہم اپنے آپ کو جسٹیفائی کرتے ہیں یا جو بھی ہو سکتا ہے، تو اس میں جو اگر یہ ریسورسز اور اس کو ابھی یہ اسے مارج نہ کریں اس میں، یا وہ جو ہے لمس اس کو ٹیک اوور نہ کرے یا جو بھی ہے، اس کو جو ہے اسے اس میں کنٹیمپٹ میں اگر یہ سٹیپ ہو جائے تو یہ بورڈ جو ہے وہ ایک طرف سے مجبور ہو جائے گا اور وہ نیگوشیٹ کرے گا لیڈ فیلوز کے ساتھ بھی اور باقی سٹیک ہولڈرز کے ساتھ بھی. تو یہ بھی ایک موو ہو سکتی ہے اس کے لیے. اور میرا یہ خیال ہے کہ یہ سٹیج پہنچی ہوئی ہے. لیگلی یہ لائر بتائے گا کہ اس میں ہم کس وقت یہ کام کر سکتے ہیں. اور جو میرا ایکسپیرینس ہے وہ تو بالکل قریب ہی ہے.
جی حضرت قریشی صاحب.
جی بالکل، انہوں نے بالکل صحیح کہا ہے. اور یہ اس لائن پہ ہم آ چکے ہیں آلموسٹ، تقریباً یہ بھی ہو جائے گا. اس کے بعد پھر دیکھتے ہیں کیا ہوگا.
نہیں ابھی جو لاہور ہائی کورٹ راولپنڈی بینچ نے جو نوٹس ایشو کیا ہے اس میں کیا ہم نے پلی لی ہے؟
انہوں نے جسٹ 7 کے 7 ممبرز کو بلایا ہے، انڈیویجول نوٹسز ان کو بھجوا دیا ہے.
نہیں، what plea we have taken in the court؟
کہ آپ نے جو کورٹ کا آرڈر تھا اس کو کیوں کمپلائی نہیں کیا؟ why you are disobeying, why you are making a contempt of that order.
نہیں حضرت قریشی صاحب، اسی میں ہم نے یہ کیوں نہیں کر دیا کہ اپنے وہ جو ریسورسز ہیں جو پیسہ پڑا ہوا ہے اس کو سیز کر دیا جائے اور until further order؟
وہ اسی اگلی میٹنگ پہ ہو جائے گا، نیکسٹ ہیئرنگ پہ ہو جائے گا. It would happen during the next hearing.
بالکل صحیح ہے یہ. اچھا ایک چیز میں جاننا چاہتا ہوں، آئی وانٹ ٹو نو ون تھنگ. ڈاکٹر سعید صاحب بھی موجود ہیں، کیا اس میں کوئی پولیٹیکل انفلوئنس جو ہے وہ بھی کام کر سکتا ہے؟ جیسے شہناز وزیر علی صاحبہ جو ہیں، شی بلانگس ٹو پاکستان پیپلز پارٹی، عزیر صاحب اینڈ ادر board member belongs to Pakistan Muslim League and PMLN, and I think Dr. Nadeem ul Haq is also the beneficiary from the PMLN. کوئی پولیٹیکل پریشر جو ہے یا پولیٹیکل انفلوئنس جو ہے، ڈاکٹر سعید صاحب یو آر مور لرنڈ پرسن دین us، تو اس کے اوپر بلکہ اعجاز صاحب آپ بھی اس کے اوپر بتائیں کہ کیا ڈو یو تھنک لائک اٹ وڈ بی وائبل انفلوئنس اور پریشر لائک اف وی اپروچ ٹو سرٹن پولیٹیکل ایلیمنٹس؟
ہماری سوسائٹی ہے اس میں آپ کو پتہ ہے کہ پولیٹیکل جو پریشر ہے یہ بہت کام کرتا ہے، مگر ان میں سے میں سب کو نہیں جانتا. ایک میں شہناز وزیر علی صاحبہ سے انٹریکشن ہوتا رہے مختلف مواقعوں پہ، تو وہ جو ان کے ساتھ میری جو آبزرویشن ہے ان کی پرسنالٹی کا، وہ جو ہے اس حساب میں جو ایک طرف چل پڑتی ہیں تو وہ مجھے ریجڈ لگتی ہیں. جو میری اپنی میں بھی مجھے یہ لگتی ہیں، تو وہ شاید بعض اوقات درمیانہ پریشر یا ایک لیول کے پریشر میں تو وہ نہیں آئیں گی جب تک کوئی بہت اوپر سے نہ ہو.
جی بالکل. ڈاکٹر سعید اسماعیل صاحب،
پولیٹیکل پریشرز جو ہیں وہ یقیناً کام آتے ہیں اور they do help, but you see they would only be helpful if the board constitutes a homogeneous kind of persons, in the sense that they all belong to one party, for example. And if we are able to get somebody from that party to influence them, but again it can be bad in the sense, because you know our politicians, and once they jump in, and so instead of doing what has to be done, they would also start thinking about whether how we could manipulate it, and so that this organization lands in their lap. So that thing is always there.
There is also it is also a negative thing. Rana, would you like to add something more? Do you have something to say?
Currently, no.
Okay.
I think we covered all the parts, but some of the questions of Azhar raised were not answered.
What
Sorry?
questions?
Azhar raised a question about the one lady who is, give me a minute until I enter into the office.
Shahnaz Wazir Ali?
Shahnaz Wazir.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Because Ijaz Sikandar has told us that she becomes very rigid in some of the instances. So she is passing through to that stage. So she
Okay.
is not listening, she is not taking care of anything. She is doing whatever she likes. So that's
Okay.
the story.
Okay, fine. I have a question to ask to the colleagues. Is it is it legal, like if a retired board person can join the closure meeting, as Shahnaz Wazir Ali has been included into the closure committee of Lead Pakistan? She is a retired board member. Ismail Saab. Said Ismail Saab.
I don't know the legal position in that sense, whether it's legally possible or not. Maybe it is, maybe, but of course, if it could be legally correct. That is my thinking. I may be wrong. That if the board decides that they want to appoint a certain person from outside the lead fraternity
Okay.
to help them in the closure process, I think they can give the mandate to them.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
Fine.
not so sure.
Okay. Okay. Ejaz Saab,
जी जी.
you have the same opinion as well, like
سی ہو سکتے ہیں جی. یہ اسماعیل صاحب سے میرا یہ خیال ہے کہ ہمیں مختلف وی ہیو ٹو ٹیک سم اسٹیپس آن ملٹیپل ڈائمینشنس. فار ایگزامپل دیر از نو ہارم ان نیگوشیٹنگ اور ڈپیوٹنگ سچ اے پرسن for negotiation and resolving this issue. One, on the legal side, we should exert the pressure on the board, and we should not stop our legal battles. And thirdly, we also involve our lead fellows who have the time and who are interested in it. Almost all the lead fellows are interested for the sustainability of the organization. But there is sometimes our lead fellows are busy in other activities, their professional work and other affairs, their family affairs, etc. Therefore, they are not playing so proactive role. So, but I think we should take solid steps. We have been seeing the comments of the lead fellows on our WhatsApp groups. So they are interested, but it is sometimes very difficult to to come on a stage where we all should have a consensus on certain points. If we create, I have been reading all these points. So we have to conclude some things, and we have to take some solid steps for resolving this issue.
It is Dr. Saeed Saab. Please go ahead. You have raised your hand.
You see, Ejaz has touched that point, but the point is, of course, whatever we do, you see, we should have solidarity amongst the whole fellows. Sometimes it happens that one major group starts working on something, then there is another group who doesn't like the way it is being progressed. You see, that is something that is very critical for our survival. Somehow we should try to create some cohesiveness among all of us, and so that we all say the same thing, because only then we can come and say that we are representative of the lead fellows group. Right now, even if we are here 7 of us, of course, if we cannot decide anything on behalf of
we cannot, we are just discussing these things.
Because at an individual capacity, of course, as you've written something that highlights the problem, so you can continue with that media campaign as an individual, part of the lead and interested in survival of course. But then, of course, the joint strategy must be endorsed by a majority of the fellows. That is something we should always keep in mind, and try to develop things that brings cohesiveness amongst the fellows.
बिल्कुल सही.
Yeah, Dr. Saeed, you are very much right. Of course, there are only 2, 3 or 4 such fellows who have difference of opinion. But now when I am recently talking with some of the fellows, it seems that they have understood gravity of the situation, and now they are not having so much difference of opinion. And I think that with the next few days, most of us will be on the same page, inshallah.
Inshallah. Acha, this is also very strange, like board advertised the position of CEO for Lead Pakistan, and then a consulting firm was hired to hire the CEO, but they didn't. Even I got to know like a couple of lead fellows also applied for the position, and 5 were selected, and there were like two from the 5, 2 out of 5 were also fellows were selected for the board, but board took no decision on it. If it means like they were not interested to continue with the organization, but just to grab it and just to hand it over to some other organization, as we are listening, like they are more interested to attach it to Lahore University of Management Sciences, LUMS के साथ. तो ये एक बड़ी अजीब गरीब किस्म की सूरत हाल है. शुरू से ही we have we try to engage with board when at that time there was no hard feelings or like such kind of situation that was in the beginning, but even then board didn't like to engage with fellows. That was very strange phenomena basically. अच्छा, एक चीज़ मेरे ऐसी जहन में आ रही है, सईद इस्माइल साहब, एजाज साहब, अज़हर कुरैशी साहब, कि there are many cases when you write to President of Pakistan for intervention or to intervene to certain cases, even वो जो सेंटेंस टू हैंग वाला जो है वो भी जो है रोक दिया जाता है प्रेसिडेंट के कहने के ऊपर. यार ये प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान कोई मतलब लीगल प्रोसेस इज अ वेरी लेंथी प्रोसेस एंड आई डोंट नो लाइक हाउ, लेकिन क्या ऐसे भी कोई सूरत हाल होती है कि प्रेसिडेंट जो है वो इस तरह के मामलात के अंदर जो है वो मुदाखलत करे और इंटरवीन करे और कोई ऐसा कोई ऑर्डर इशू करे, कोई do you see like any role of President of Pakistan in such kind of things, such kind of issues?
No, I don't think so.
अच्छा,
Because
ऐसे मेरे बैठे बैठे
it could have been done at the very early stage, but now when the issue is in the court has to decide.
सही साहब, ऐसा भी होता है कोई?
No, I agree with Azhar, because once the things the court, so the Prime Minister or the President cannot issue any directive covering up the court's decision or court's rulings and working that is going on. So now I think it has to wait probably through the court. Yes.
अच्छा, एक ये चीज़ है कि ये they are discussing to attach or lead Pakistan with LUMS. क्या प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान जो है ऐसी मेरे ज़हन में कुछ वाइल्ड चीज़ें हैं कि क्या ऐसा वो है कि प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान लम्स वालों को कहे कि यार ये आप लोगों ने क्या मजाक बनाया हुआ है और ये क्यों आप एक अच्छी चलती फिरती ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को जो है आप लम्स के अंदर घुसेड़ना चाहते हैं, और क्यों आपका वाइस चांसलर और एक और डायरेक्टर जो है वो बैठ के बाकी बोर्ड के लोगों को के साथ जो है कॉन्वेंस में लगा हुआ है. ऐसा हो सकता है?
देखें, जो यूनिवर्सिटीज़ वगैरह हैं या जो कॉलेजेस हैं, इनका अपना फॉर एग्जांपल एबटाबाद पब्लिक स्कूल है, तो इसका जो है वो जो बोर्ड का हेड है वो गवर्नर होता है. इस तरह जो है, अब मुझे नहीं पता कि लम्स का चेयरमैन या उसमें गवर्नर या प्रेसिडेंट का क्या रोल है. ऐसे तो प्रेसिडेंट है ओवरऑल, اگر اس کے اندر ان کا کوئی رول ہے وائس چانسلر کو کون نامینیٹ کرتا ہے یا اس طرح تو وہ انہیں کہہ سکتا ہے کہ آپ لیڈ کو تو اگر نہیں تو ان کو تو منع کر سکتا ہے کہ آپ یہ کام کیوں کر رہے ہیں آرگنائزیشن کو کیوں کر سکتے ہیں.
نہیں میں کہہ رہا ہوں اگر فارملی نہیں کر
انفارملی تو کہہ سکتا ہے,
انفارملی تو پریزیڈنٹ آف پاکستان ہے اور اس کے اپنی ایک پورا وہ ہے وہ ایون کیوں اظہر قریشی کوئی ایسا بھی ہو سکتا ہے کیونکہ میرے
دیکھیں انفارملی اینی باڈی کین انٹروین اینی ویئر.
کیونکہ ابھی ہم دیکھ رہے ابھی ہم یہی سوچ رہے تھے نا کہ بھئی کوئی ایسا ہو کہ جو بورڈ کو یہ کہہ سکے کہ بھئی خدا کو مانو انسان بنو, یہ اس کو آرگنائزیشن کو سیلف سسٹیننگ آرگنائزیشن کو چلنے دو اس کو اس طریقے کے ساتھ. تو وہی ہم کر رہے تھے نا کہ میڈیٹر کون ہو سکتا ہے.
یہ تو بیسیکلی لیگلی جو ہے نا جی, اس میں نے جو اس کے آرٹیکل یا سارا جو پڑھا میں پچھلے دور میں کچھ آرگنائزیشن رجسٹرڈ بھی کروائیں یہ پشاور میں کمپنی ایکٹ کے تحت بھی اور بھی اس طرح. تو اس کے اندر جو میں نے دیکھا تھا بیسیکلی یہ جو ہے جو کمپنی ایکٹ کے تحت جو رجسٹرڈ ہوتی ہے یہ رجسٹرار کے ساتھ ہوتی ہے. ایسے ایشوز میں جو ہے وہ لیگلی جو رجسٹرار ہے اس کا رول بہت اسٹرانگ ہوتا ہے. اب کمپنی ایکٹ کے تحت جو رجسٹرڈ کی جاتی ہیں آرگنائزیشن, ایک ویلفیئر ایکٹ تھا اور ایک کمپنی ایکٹ تھا. کمپنی ایکٹ میں یہ ہے کہ وہ اس میں آزادی ہے کافی حد تک اور اس میں وہ زیادہ اختیارات بورڈ کے پاس چلے جاتے ہیں. مجھے سارے آرٹیکل یاد نہیں, میں نے وہ بہت ورک کیا تھا اس میں, مگر یہ ہے کہ بہرحال جو ہے اس میں اور جو یہ جو عمر اصغر خان کے ساتھ میری ڈسکشن ہوئی تھی, سنگی بھی کمپنی ایکٹ کے تحت رجسٹرڈ ہوئی تھی, وہ بھی شروع میں بورڈ آف گورنر کے ممبر تھے لیڈ کے. تو وہ کہتے تھے کہ یہ جو کمپنی ایکٹ ہے 1816 اس میں یہ ہے کہ آپ کا جو ہے یہ زیادہ جو آڈٹ والے آپ کو زیادہ تنگ نہیں کر سکتے, آپ فریلی کام کر سکتے ہیں اس طرح. پھر بعد میں نے پڑھا بھی لیٹر آن تو یہی بات تھی. اور جب ویلفیئر کے ساتھ آپ کرتے ہیں تو اس کو آپ کی جو ہے وہ کسی وقت بھی آپ کو دیکھ سکتے ہیں, آپ سے چھین سکتے ہیں. ویلفیئر سوسائٹی ایکٹ کے تحت جو آپ سوشل ویلفیئر آفیسر کے ساتھ رجسٹرڈ کرتے ہیں. مگر بہرحال جو ہے وہ کمپنی ایکٹ کے تحت رجسٹرار کا وہ ہے اور وہ بعض اوقات بہت پازیٹیو اور وہ جو ہے ایک اسٹرانگ رول بھی پلے کر سکتے ہیں. اب مجھے نہیں پتا اس میں اتنا لیڈ کے اس میں نہیں گیا کہ ان کا آرٹیکل آف ایسوسیشن کیا ہے یا کس حد تک وہ ہے اس میں, مگر میرا یہ خیال ہے کہ جس باڈی کے ساتھ رجسٹرڈ ہوئے ہیں وہاں کا جو کنسرن آفیسر ہے اس کا رول بڑا اسٹرانگ ہوتا ہے, خواہ وہ کسی بھی پوزیشن پہ ہو. تو اس کو بھی دیکھا جا سکتا ہے.
جی ٹھیک. ڈاکٹر سعید صاحب, اینی مور کمنٹ فرام یور سیلف؟
نہیں, تھینک یو.
Okay.
Thank you for
okay sir thank you very much.
رانا اجازت بھی چاہوں گا.
اچھا بس ہم سارے اجازت لے رہے ہیں, 2 منٹ ٹھہر جائیں. رانا اخل, if you want to make any comment or Azhar Qureshi صاحب.
Yeah, definitely
Rana please go ahead.
Rana Akhil has raised a very important point that why there are so many fellows in this talk. But I know most of the fellows are already very much well aware about this issue, and they have been participating in the email discussion and WhatsApp group, and this is one of the reasons that they have not joined this talk.
اوکے, جیسے ڈاکٹر سعید اسماعیل صاحب نے کہا ہے کہ کوئی جوائنٹ اسٹریٹجی کے بارے میں سوچیں کہ ایک تو یہ جو کورٹ ووٹ کا چل رہا ہے, اس کے علاوہ جو آلٹرنیٹ اسٹریٹجیز ہو سکتی ہیں بورڈ کو انگیج کرنے کی, اس کے بارے میں ذرا تھوڑی سی وہ بات کریں. رانا اخل پلیز گو اہیڈ.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to comment on, I think you were talking about the LUMS, the University of Lahore. And that was in Urdu, so it's a clever me.
Oh, sorry.
To understand.
Anyway. I think she left and therefore we converted into Urdu.
I think this is an important issue. I think we need to go parallel. The idea of starting, as Saeed Sahab said, that it doesn't cost much to establish an NGO. I think to go ahead also with this will be a good move. In case that the whole thing didn't went in the right direction, then we have a chance to carry to continue. And maybe, like I was thinking, maybe Lead the Future or Lead Future would be a nice name, so we don't really evaporate the Lead history totally, but it is something for the future. I was thinking while we were discussing that the case of Lead fellows now raising this issue is a very interesting case to be studied in governance. And if we were successful to drive the attention of one of the organizations in US or in Britain about this, they will be great supporters. They will support that this approach. We can have the NGO established not only in Pakistan but also abroad, having the same name, like Lead the Future, something. And we have Lead Pakistan, also Lead the Future at the same time. But we need to build around us allies, strong allies, international strong allies, to support the case of Lead Fellows, because this is a very interesting and strong case for governance. And now in the era of all the Western world claiming that this part of the world has a lot of corruption, that is a success story. If we succeeded, regardless, even if we lost Lead, I think we will be making a statement that we stood against corruption. We wanted to have a voice. We wanted proper NGO to be established. And this is a strong case to be internationalized. And to be supported by strong allies who are, entities who support good governance, anti-corruption, this sort of entities who would come on board and support Lead Fellows. At that time, I think it will be no longer differences in opinions or views amongst fellows. Are we doing the right thing? We are not doing the right thing. We didn't give the board of governance a chance. No, we tried everything. When we have that support, shedding a light on this case. And I want to say one final thing. The timing is the worst ever for Lead to collapse, because now with the coronavirus and we are heading to the new era, climate change, sustainability, environmental protection is becoming on the top of the agenda on the international platforms everywhere. So this is the worst time to actually kill Lead, the organization that started when no one was caring about the environment. Now the whole world is caring about the environment, and it is. I think we should go parallel. We should go parallel in all directions. The media campaign, the trying to negotiate with the board of governance and having some mediation still continue, even if it didn't work, still continue that effort and document it. We need to document that, because we don't want anyone at the end to say that we didn't approach the board of governance, like the early discussions on Lead Group. And we started going to the court. We need to document all of these 3 lines. These are my thoughts. I don't know while we are discussing.
Right.
Thank you.
Wonderful suggestions, I think. Thank you so much, Dr. Said Ismail Saab, Ijaz Sikandar Saab, Rana Akhil, Azhar Qureshi Saab, and those who had left, Bilal Sayyed Saab, Arshad Rafiq Saab, Murad Rana Sahab. I don't know, they left because they might have some other urgent work to do. And thank you so much, those who participated till the end of this conversation. And we got, I really got some good points to follow. And Azhar Qureshi Saab, you also appreciate the contribution of our Lead Fellows, those who turned up and offered good feedback and good suggestions. There are 3-4 points that have emerged. I think we should, Azhar Qureshi Saab, with the support of other fellows, we should start working on alternate things as well. Thank you so much once again, and take care of yourself. Have a nice weekend. I don't know, is weekend in Jordan or not? Okay, take care of yourself.